because it is a windy day out here at Park on the Gig Harbor side of the Cape Peninsula. This is bad, but anyways, my name's Tina, I'm the science specialist, and we're here doing some community science, beach monitoring with Harbor WildWatch, and we just wrapped up doing some quadrat data at the +1, 0, and -1 tidal height. Carly's here doing some filming. I know Rachel's out there running tech for us, so if you have any questions, feel free to type those in the comments. We'll either see them and try to answer them, or Rachel will be out there tip-tapping along to let you know what your wonders are. And we're gonna kind of switch gears right now and go to a fish seine, which is an exciting part, probably the most exciting part of summer beach monitoring. We drag a net through the water and see what fish we catch. And this gives us an idea of the populations of nearshore fish in this area. It's a very variable survey because the fish move and we never really know what we're going to get. So it's an exciting one because you have slippery fish everywhere and we catch them, collect them, and then identify and count them. So just a little bit about, it looks like Mike isn't quite in his waders yet, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about just the quadrat surveys that we've done. There's the beautiful bridge in the background, so a picturesque place, but we can maybe just take a little stroll. This is the -1 tidal height. Today we have a nice low tide, and basically we set these squares out every 3 meters, and we count and identify all the living things in each square, and we might just take this square, we'll just pop up along each tidal height. So at the -1, we're in a really low tide zone. This square is not that exciting. There's some barnacles, sea lettuce, a couple tube worms. Really not a lot going on. We're kind of in a sandy substrate, so unless there's big rocks, you can compare to Mike's quadrat number 3. Like this starts to give you a little bit more life. We found things like crabs, ribbon worms, some anemones under this rock, so that gets recorded. And then if we compare the -1, we're just going to step up to the 0 tidal height, or that 9 meter mark. Just kind of ruffled through these rocks looking for all the life. Again, the substrate's going to determine a lot of what we find on the beach, as well as that tidal height. And so we can kind of put those two information bits together to see what's happening. I'm starting to see more of this brown algae as we get higher in the intertidal zone. This is called rockweed or fucus. This is just a little young sprig of that. Again, sorry about the wind. We'll do our best to block that. Starting to see more of those crabs, and then a little bit of sugar kelp holdfast. Kind of fun. Again, if you're just tuning in, feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from and who's tuning in with you. That's always exciting to know. And then we're gonna move up to our +1 tidal height. So we looked at the 0, the -1, and then this one's exciting because we have a big boulder in our square. This square that we're using is called a quadrat, and it's essentially a measurement of area. So each length of this PVC pipe is ½ a meter, and so we call this a 1/4 meter quad because it would take 4 of these to make a full meter square. And you can see things get a little bit more exciting at this +1 tidal height, and it's probably because there's this nice boulder here. Lots of aggregating anemones on this rock, some different types of red seaweeds, this Polysiphonia, Mastocarpus, leafier Mastocarpus, little limpets all over this rock. There's even a little bit of this like encrusting red algae, which is kind of fun to see. This one's called Hildebrandia, which is kind of a mouthful of a word. But you can see kind of just as we move up the beach, we see different varieties of life. Definitely in this zone,
You can see our whole team not really getting ready. It's a little bit less windy up here.
Not exciting, but the +5 tidal height, we're kind of in the high intertidal zone. I'm seeing a little bit of green algae. We can flip some rocks to see if we find any crabs, but we'll probably come back to that when we do the last survey of the day. But this would be a good square to have, because you're pretty much just estimating the percent cover of seaweed here, and maybe taking a close look for some snails, barnacles. But again, Narrows Park, we can look out at the water. The tide rips through this part of the sail, because all of the water in the south zone has to go through this passage. So as that tide is changing, we really get a strong current ripping through here, which if you're these little rocks, you could imagine it's a tough life trying to live on them as they're getting moved around and rolled with the current. So it kind of makes sense that you don't see as many encrusting life forms up here. But for big boulders that don't move, like this one, see lots of life on it. So again, those aggregating anemones that do that really cool cloning. I'm trying to see if we see any doing binary fission where they rip themselves in two. Yeah, that one's kind of long next to Carly. Yeah, we see these anemones all over the rocks, so cool to see them at the +1 tidal height as well as the +5 tidal height. Means you can still see a lot of life even if it's not a negative tide, so check those tide charts to figure out when a good time to go to the beach is.
Teeny tiny one.
Alright. It looks like Mike has his waders on. This is a nice beach. Usually I'd get waders on as well to drag that net through the water, but because of the slope of this beach, it's a pretty steep beach. Mike will probably get up to his armpits before I even get my boots wet, which means I just get to stand there as Mike swings the net around, tries not to fall in, and we drag that net ashore. So he's getting all buckled up for that. So I think we're gonna head up to the top of the beach to get the seine ready, and then hopefully we'll see some fun fish today. Kind of have a select crew of beach monitors. Because of COVID, we can't have the full-blown sighting event that we normally would do. But here's our little community science group. Mike's getting his last shoe on.
Take a look at the net. Here's our Seine net, all bundled up and ready to go. You'll notice it has floats on the top, so it stays afloat in the water. On the bottom, there's a weighted lead line that'll keep it weighted down as it's being dragged out. And then Stina has the two Seine poles, so the net clips into those rings on the top and the bottom, and they're quite tall.
There's some good seining technique. You don't want to use your back, so you're dragging this bottom, and then the net's going out that way. I'm going to keep this dragging through the sand, kind of bouncing along the bottom. I'm really going to use my legs.
Great Seine technique, Stina.
Maybe we'll steal Ashley here. Head down to the beach.
Yeah. Here we go. See the rest of our beach monitoring supplies up here. And Stina's grabbing a bucket so that when we catch the fish, we can put them in the bucket in some cool water to get a better idea of what we have caught, and also to put them back in the water. And if you're new to seeing Seine surveys, you might be thinking, oh no, are these fish going to be harmed? They are not. They are just pulled from the water in this net and put into the bucket and surveyed, and then we release them back out into the water, and they probably just have a cool story to tell their friends afterwards. We're gonna wander down. It's a little bit windier the closer to the shore that we get. So again, apologies for the wind and the wind noise. This is Carly, Harbor WildWatch's communications specialist speaking, and I'll try to do some commentary as we sing and see what fish we can see. Hello to everyone who's tuning in. I see Linda, Stina's mom, tuning in from Montana. We got Laura from Wyoming. Mom's tuning in.
And they're like, are we gonna do beach monitoring? Because we do this same thing in the winter when it's dark and cold. My parents come all the way from Montana to join me on the beach in the winter time. My brother, not so much.
Perfect. Stina's giving a shout out to mom and dad. If you couldn't hear it, her parents are awesome participants in our beach monitoring program, and oftentimes are out here on the beach with us in the winter, in the cold. So big shout out to Stina's parents who are tuning in digitally.
And really all of our community scientists.
All of our community. We have such a great team of volunteers who come out and join us year round, and this year's a little sad, as Stina mentioned. With the pandemic, we have a select few folks with us on the beach for safety. Yeah, we have big high school groups.
We miss you all.
Here with us in spirit. Hey, Ken, hope that you're enjoying the warmth in Southern California. We're a little jealous. What's happening here? It's cloudy. It's blustery. So Mike and Stina are taking the net out. And then there's going to be a mad scramble to capture the fish. And you can see that float line a little bit better now as the net gets spread out. So you can see why there's a need for waders. It drops off rather quick here. It's up to Mike's chest in the water. And then you got Stina on shore. And essentially, you're going to see Mike kind of turn his pole down so that the net scoops, and they're going to bring that net back toward the shore, and hopefully we'll have quite a few fish. What kinds of fish is everyone hoping to see today? Any fishy requests out there? Perhaps crabs. Sometimes we'll see different types of crabs, jellyfish in the net as well. It can be a little difficult on blustery days like this. Because you're working with the wind and you're working with the waves and trying to handle the elements. So you'll see Kenzie's grabbing the lead line. We have Soji and Ashley who are also going to grab the lead line and essentially make a Seine taco is what we affectionately call it. So they're tacoing it together so that we don't lose any of the fish that are pulled up. And the net will go down, and then it's just a mad scramble. You can see Steph coming in with a water bucket to get fish. So we plop the fish back in. A lot of fish that we see during the Seine include perch. Sometimes we'll see midshipmen, different types of sculpin, kelp crabs, helmet crabs. It really depends on the Seine and occasionally the beach that we are at. Ooh, hoping for a spiny lumpsucker. If you don't know what a spiny lumpsucker looks like, it is the cutest little fish. Recommend looking up a picture. Whoa. Got a gunnel. Oh my goodness. Gunnel party.
Wow.
All the perch in the corner.
It's a bright.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got a pretty variety.
Sorry.
Oh, Eleanor, age 4, says she wants to see a salmon. That would be cool.
You're like,
We've caught juveniles before.
there was some hopping yesterday.
I'm going to do my best to block the wind here. So just from an overhead survey, it looks like we have a good number of perch who are swimming around in here. Gunnels. Ooh, splash.
Sculpin.
Yeah, what all these guys are doing in the corner over here. Swim down! Swim down!
Oh, there's a baby shiner perch. Cool, well we're gonna have Mike probably talk about them, but we can talk about them too.
Yeah.
If we can catch them. So a nice shiner perch here.
Just project.
They have the pretty yellow bars on their sides.
Ooh, this one's kind of purple.
We have the Staghorn Sculpin.
Ooh.
They're really pretty. They have a black spot on their dorsal fin. I see some Saddleback Gunnels. These slippy, slimy guys. And it looks like they have saddles on their back. These fish are really cool and well adapted for the intertidal zone because they can breathe through their skin. Curious about our red friends here. Might be pinpoints.
I think they're still saddlebacks.
Still saddleback? Why are you so red?
It's really
Yeah.
red. Yeah.
See the... All right, Mike, you want to tell us about all the fun fish we found today?
So we've got a bunch of saddleback gunnels. I heard Stina already talking about the fact that they can survive out of the water for a bit because they can take up oxygen through their skin. We call these saddlebacks because they look like they have little saddles on their backs. They're not actually eels. They're in another group of fish. We don't have true eels here. The other thing that tells us what they are, they're big pectoral fins that are bright red in this guy, like its other fins. They're going to be up in there if I can hold on to them. So we've got a number of those. We'll count those in a bit. We've also got shiner surf perch. And these can be identified with their yellow bars along their body. So they give live birth. And so that happened to be a male that just jumped out of my hand. But here's a fairly newly, probably a couple weeks old shiner perch that was born. So they are a neat one in that it's a rarity for fish to give birth or live birth. And then we've got Staghorn Sculpins. So these are easy to identify with these big spine that they like to stick out when they are feeling threatened. You press on their head, they almost always push it out like that. And I heard Stina talk about the black spot on the dorsal. If I can lift the dorsal fin, you'll see that black spot right there. They're really common in almost all of our habitats here in Puget Sound. And I think those are all the different types of fish we have. Now we just have to count them. So I think I see 7 shiner perch. I think we just have 2 Staghorn Sculpin. 5, 6, 7. And I think we have 9 Saddleback Gunnels.
So then, on our data sheet, we just simply write, this is haul number 1. So we're going to do a couple more drags of the net, and we have our Saddleback Gunnel, shiner perch, and Staghorn Sculpin with the number that we found, and we'll do it again. One thing that's tricky, oh, we have a helmet crab. This beach is a little tricky because of all these big boulders. We've definitely had problems before where the net gets caught and stuck, and hopefully we can avoid that today.
They are the furry looking ones.
They have similar shapes.
They're in the same family, called the
My dad
Modges.
he's always been into fishing his whole life. He has like this huge 75-gallon one with like a saltwater fish tank. They're not like this, but they're so pretty.
That's so cool. I have a 75-gallon tank, but it's
All right, do it again.
All right. All right, let these guys go and do another seine and see what else we can see. All right.
So one helmet crab and one. Was there any kelp crab? Just helmet.
Stina keeping track of everything that we saw, different types, and we're gonna separate it out and do haul number 2. Steph is gonna put our fishy friends back in the water. No fish harmed here.
Make sure to release the fish. Down
Yep.
current. Go out.
So Stina's gestures are we're releasing the fish that way down the ways, and this is to prevent us hopefully from catching the same fish twice. So by releasing them a little bit further down and then going out up here, you know, you hope that you aren't surveying the same fish. So again, it is very blustery and windy out here as we survey, and I'm also trying not to trip on the beach. It's a very cobbly beach. So we are going to do number 2, seine. We have a sailboat coming in hot. Maybe we'll catch a sailboat today, I don't know. So we have Mike out up to his waist, and he's going to start moving the net in again. You can see he's kind of tilting that pole downwards so that we can hopefully scoop the fish up. We have Stina on the shore holding her end and a float line to help keep that net afloat. And we have our volunteers at the ready to run in and grab the lead line. And again, they are essentially going to make a seine taco, as we affectionately call it. So they'll pull the lead line up toward the float line so that all the fish are captured in it and don't go flipping and flopping across the beach or out into the water. And then it's a mad dash to grab all the fish that we can and put them back into the bucket so that we can survey them again. So let's get a little bit of a closer look and see. I see lots of flipping and flopping here. I also see some scrambling. Looks like we got some crabs in here, which we do take note of. Quite a few fish down here. So I can see Steph's grabbing some perch. Looks like Kinsey has a nice Staghorn Sculpin. We got a red rock scrambling, hiding.
See how well this kelp crab blends in with the
What?
sargassum here.
So we got a kelp crab who's doing what kelp crabs do best and blending right into the sargassum. And the little guy. Nice camouflage, buddy.
And pointy little grabby toes.
Uh-huh. Wow. Great job blending in. All right, let's see what fish we have. Ashley trying to grab a little crab. Crab wrangling. Oh, we got lots more perch in here. Maybe all perch. Don't. And what we're gonna do from here is count the number of fish that are in this bucket. Note it. Ooh, we got, what are you? This guy up here. Kind of cool looking.
We got 2 red rocks. You got our helmet.
I'm so curious what these are. So we're gonna have Mike come over and talk about the different fish that we're seeing.
Nope, there's
I'm so curious what this guy is over
so
here.
This one is a herring.
Oh, that's a herring.
And we're gonna let that one go. They don't do very well in the tub, so we just wanna get it out as quickly as I can so it doesn't die. So I'm just gonna let this one go. So it looks like it's had a few run-ins with salmon.
Yeah, it looks kind of.
So Mike is saying it looks kind of beat up and like it maybe has had a few run-ins with salmon along the way. Herring are
forage fish.
our important forage fish.
So just checking to see what we have. So got one Staghorn Sculpin. Got a really big shiner perch.
Oh wow.
Oh, actually, yeah. Is that a really big one? Where did our really big one go? There it is.
Love it.
A really big one. This one happens
My
to be
goodness.
a big old male. And we can tell it's a male by the thickening of the fin down here. So if this were a female, she'd probably be full of babies ready to give birth. They get really dark when they get old, so you can see darker color, but still those yellow bars.
Oh,
And a one baby gunnel.
adorable. That's a teeny tiny baby gunnel. What type of gunnel is that, Mike?
It is really hard to know, but it does look like it's a saddleback. I could see a number of very small little saddle-looking markings right along its back or its dorsal fin.
Okay, if you think this baby gunnel is super adorable, please send some hearts our way. It's so cute. Look at his little face. So adorable.
And now we need to count.
Do people like have those in fish tanks?
Perch. There's so many perch down in the
So I
end.
think we're going to count the perch as we let them go. And we'll just keep a running count as we
Alright.
go.
So Mike is gonna count the perch if you miss that as we go and just put them back in the water. Keep it tally. You can see there's a lot of perch in here.
Start with our non-perch. So there's our Staghorn Sculpins.
Be free! And then perch by the handful.
Perch by the handful. So 7.
Does anyone have a guess of how many perch we just got in our bucket here? That's a lot of perch.
11. 14.
Oh yeah, I think no, they're like
17.
I see how
20. 21. 23. And 24.
24 perch total. Woohoo! And a baby gunnel. Baby gunnel though.
2 red rock crabs.
2 red rock crabs and that 1 kelp crab.
highly recommended.
Today's scenes.
Is that about a 5 meter? So this lets us calculate the distance that we cover with the net, and we can do the math to figure out the area, and that can help us if we do a really long seine in a shallower beach habitat. That's a lot more ground that you drag the net through, so it's possibly a lot more fish to catch. So in a short tiny seine like this, where the seine is 10 meters long and we're only doing like a 5 meter swoop, that's the technical term, then we get to kind of calculate effort to number of fish caught. So Mike, are we gonna do one more? Let's do one more. The rest we just pull them up by repeating these sets. You can see we have some similarities, but have we only done one seine, we'd miss out on seeing things like the herring, or the kelp crab, or the red rock crabs. So while we don't really care about crabs quite as much as we care about the fish in these seines, it's still interesting to note those. So on this third seine, we can probably start predicting that we'll see some more shiner perch, maybe some more gunnels, and hopefully, who knows what, but something cool. So let's find out.
A salmon. Let's catch a salmon.
We absolutely have
Gotta get a
caught
salmon for
here
Eleanor.
before. And I don't know if we saw, there was a recreational fisherman walking by earlier. So this is a great beach to go fishing. So
Woohoo! All right, we're gonna do one more seine. And once again, you'll notice we release the fish down this way, so hopefully they're swimming down that way. And we're gonna survey upshore from where we release them in the hopes of not re-catching the fish. For those of you who might just be tuning in, we are at Tacoma Narrows Beach Park on a very blustery July day, doing a nearshore fish survey, so taking a peek at what fish are out here in the Tacoma Narrows. We're at a pretty good low tide out here with a good current ripping through. We have Mike in the water pulling the net in, and Hazoji holding one of the seine poles as well. We have our lovely team of volunteers who are going to come in and scoop the lead line toward the float line, scooping up all of the fish that are swimming around near shore. Be a mad scramble to collect them, put them in a bucket, survey them, set them free. There we go. Making a seine taco. And pulling it in. You can see the bucket of water waiting to the right, as well as the white survey board to keep track of the fish species that we're seeing. And this gives us an idea of what fish inhabit the nearshore habitats around the Puget Sound. And we also count creatures like crabs that we see as well and make little notes. We never quite know what we're gonna find in the net. It's dependent on beach.
Cutthroat in through here. Biggest cutthroat I've ever caught in the salt is here.
Kelp crab. It doesn't quite blend in with your hands as well as it did with the kelp.
Oh, that's a big one.
Whoa!
Got a chunk taken out of.
Oh, buddy. So you see we have a handful of perch in here. We have this really, really large perch on the end. Ooh, another baby gunnel. And this perch looks like someone tried to take a bite out of him and was successful, but didn't get all of him.
And then we've got one sculpin.
We got a sculpin. There's staghorn. Whoa.
Cool though.
like its little like chin fluffs. Corner of the mouth.
What kind of sculpin is that? That's not a staghorn.
It is not a staghorn.
How many different sculpin species are there in the Puget Sound?
There are 20-something sculpin species in the Puget Sound.
And you don't have them all memorized, Mike?
I do not. This one, I'm gonna have to pull out my handy dandy sculpin book on my phone.
It's pretty cool little.
Just trying to go through all of the characteristics I know. So we're looking at the color pattern, the little cirri or the tufts over its eyes, the little white hairs coming off the lateral line.
Like how the banding on its fin rays is really pretty. Well, it's nice that we're doing this live, so we'll have a nice photo video to reference back when we decide who
I'm
this
gonna
is.
see if I can take a look.
right.
Actually.
So, Stina, what do you think could have taken a bite out of the shiner perch? What are shiner perch's
It wasn't
predators
me.
to do that? It wasn't Stina.
Yeah, I think it's an eat or be eaten kind of world out there, so I'm sure there's lots of bigger fish that would like to eat a shiner perch.
Chum.
Yeah, I don't feel
That
bad.
is maybe the biggest shiner perch I've ever seen, too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Eleanor wants to know if the horns on the Staghorn Sculpin are sharp and pokey.
They are totally sharp and pokey, and it's a great adaptation for those fish because if I'm, say, a seagull and I decide I want to have a sculpin snack, those spines will help the fish hopefully not get swallowed because as the, say, seagull tries to chomp down on that fish and swallow it, those little spines can bail out and then the seagull might cough you up and you get to live on another day. So thankfully those spines could maybe help save the fish, but seagulls are pretty determined. So I've seen them like choke down a whole sea star before. So good luck out there, sculpins.
Yikes.
Here's another little sculpin in here.
And Mike is spending some time looking up what type of sculpin this is. We got two different sculpin in here. We got the smaller one.
Yeah. So this one you can also, it kind of looks maybe just a smaller version of the same species. I'm noticing those little frills on the lateral line again. Not quite as many on the head though. Cute little guy or gal. Kind of has a white spot on the back of one of its dorsal fins. That might be a good clue. Let you go. See this big one.
Woo!
That big perch. That is the biggest shiner perch I've ever seen.
Almost the size of Stina's palm.
Yeah. Definitely not looking happy with
That
chomp.
that looks fairly fresh.
Yeah.
Yikes!
That definitely was not from the net. That is a predator somewhere.
Trying to munch.
Trying to munch. Again, here's a little juvenile shiner perch. So cute.
Tiny little juvenile shiner perch. Whoop, whoop.
And then there, is a little baby gunnel.
Really?
That's what the little one kind of looks like.
There's a tide pool in there too. That's like.
Stina's trying to scoop up our
Just one-handed it.
tiny gunnel in here.
We need to keep it in the water.
Oh,
Eleanor, you're adorable. She says, thank you for telling me about that and thank you for trying to catch a salmon for me.
Sneak this one on top.
all right.
There's another baby gunnel. Oh, all the hearts for baby gunnels and baby
Kinda
gunnel
has those
faces.
little saddles on his back. A little juvenile saddleback gunnel would be my guess.
I must have been a gunnel
Yep.
in life or something. Just have a connection.
It is so cute. Tide pool sculpin?
The big one?
Yeah.
I think it might be.
Oh, little gunnel.
Like, oh,
Does anyone have any questions about fish while we're surveying and looking at them? They don't necessarily have to be these fish,
yeah.
perch, sculpin, but any other fish in the Puget Sound. We certainly have the fish experts here with us. Feel free to type them out in the comments. We also have Rachel running tech for us out there. Super grateful for that. Thanks for answering everyone's questions too, Rachel.
Also, shout out to write in the rain paper. Write with a wet hand. Stays fine. 1, 2, 3, 4 shiner perch.
We have another gunnel.
One more gunnel. Escape gunnel that Kinsey just found. Close to the net, I think it's safe to assume.
They're hard to catch. They're so slippery and fluffy and happy.
Oh, what do sculpins eat? That's from your mother. Mom asking the trick questions.
Whatever they want to, Mom. We've seen them eat shrimp in our bucket before. The poor shrimp we catch.
Ooh, thanks for catch fish and a fish snack.
But yeah, they're, I don't know, like eat tiny shrimp things, probably tinier
So
fish.
amphipods, small fish.
Pods.
Our largest
Ooh, hey Casey, thanks for tuning in.
Our largest sculpin, the cabezone, will eat limpets and abalone and crabs. So they will eat pretty much whatever they can get in their mouth.
Kinsey found an escaped gunnel.
Different.
Whoa.
That is gorgeous.
It has like the
Little
that
dots.
cool little line on its face.
Your face is very cool, little gunnel.
Looks like it because it's got a spine right there.
Oh, okay.
So the pen points have an anal spine. The other thing is those dots are sort of pinpoint-ish.
Okay.
So,
It's not always easy to ID fish.
especially when they're small.
Yeah.
Are those like reflective?
And they're
Very pretty.
yes, based on the chemical composition.
Did you figure out what those ones were?
Ooh.
You know, like see its spine in the middle.
Cute.
Did we decide tide pool sculpin?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Well, that's the last Seine for today. Thanks again for everyone for tuning in. We'll do one more beach monitoring event tomorrow, kind of at the muddiest beach. So we'll just start with that. Should be an interesting time. But thanks for tuning in now. We'll get this posted up on Facebook as well as our YouTube page. So as always, if you had fun in learning with us, feel free to share this video along to your friends. We love the social media love. We appreciate all of that. And there's all sorts of other ways to get involved and support Arbor WildWatch. I know we have some volunteers out there. We don't have a lot of activities for you, but we will be doing an interpreter training course in July. So if you're interested in that, sign up to volunteer. And as soon as we can get back out on the beach safely with big groups of people, we're excited to do that. So you can also be part of our Steward Club membership. We love all our Steward Club members out there. Thank you so much for your support. And of course, we like to, give you some exclusive content. So that's a fun perk, as well as many other perks out there. And again, you're welcome to hop on the Harbor WildWatch website for donations. Or again, just sharing is a fun, free way to help support Harbor WildWatch and our mission to inspire stewardship of the beautiful Puget Sound here. So thanks again for tuning in and enjoying this lovely community science fish Seine with us today. Sorry again about the wind, but hopefully you're staying nice and warm. I know it's a little chilly out here, but happy July, and we'll see you next time. Learn, have fun.
I'm going to leave y'all with a beautiful shot of the bridge. Shout out to everyone saying thank you, and we'll see you all next time. Hope you enjoy your day.
Bye,